Good afternoon and morning to all of our viewers. Thank you for joining us today for the second episode of the Weekly Wrap by Tech for Fin, where we'll discuss some of the hottest fintech topics in the news from the past week, along with a new guest joining me every week, and we'll aim to do it in just 15 minutes or less. I hope you got your cup of coffee ready. I certainly do. Let's not waste any more time and get this show going. My name is Jeffrey Tower, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Business Development at ChargeAfter. Allow me to introduce this week's guest, a real special guy, if I may say. His name is Avi Arnon, a venture investor at Citi. Avi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeff, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you for being here with us. And Avi, why don't you go ahead and give us a quick intro, and we'll get on our way.
Great. So as Jeff mentioned, I'm a venture investor at Citibank. We're focused on companies that can help Citi provide better products to our customers. I usually divide our scope into two main areas. The first one is innovation on the underlying financial infrastructure layer, where we're looking at enterprise software in the areas of cybersecurity, IT, cloud, and even marketing innovation. Basically, anything that can help us be more agile and adapt to the evolving technological landscape. And the second one, which is more straightforward, is the financial services side, where we're looking at companies that we can potentially partner and provide better products to our customers. And it's also beneficial, of course, to the startups that are working with us. So bottom line, if Citi could be your customer or partner, we'll be happy to talk with anyone.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Avi. So let's just go ahead and get started. So some of you may have seen the name Paystack appear in your feeds over the past week. Well, this is an interesting one. As part of Stripe's ongoing merger and acquisition strategy, Stripe actually paid over $200 million for Nigeria's Paystack. Paystack has around 60,000 business customers across both Nigeria and Ghana. The company allows clients to collect online and offline payments, and the startup claims to process more than half of all online transactions in Nigeria. So, Avi, first off, a big congrats to Stripe and Paystack, absolutely. What I find interesting is that Stripe, along with our friends at Visa, they were involved in Paystack's $8 million A round back in 2018, just actually 2 years ago. And I would love your thoughts on this particular M&A and Paystack's hypergrowth.
Yeah. So maybe just to take a second and focus on the M&A. We have seen the rise on corporate venture investing in the past years, going up to 30 to 40% sometimes of the total financing of companies, and I want to say the structuring of many corporate institutional investors that are going and investing directly in companies. So this is something that drives external innovation into organizations, even such as Citi. But even more, in the end, the startups want to create the engagement to its potential buyer early stage. And this could be done through a partnership or through an engagement. And I really encourage companies to make as close an engagement, and an equity investment is as close as you get. And in this case, it's interesting because these are potentially competing companies. Everyone understands that Stripe's goals in the end is global, and being an African leader, you're always a bit worried that Stripe will enter the market. So a move of a partnership early stage and putting Stripe in the cap table and providing them the information was a brave move, but in the end, it paid out very well for them.
Very, very interesting. That was a good one. And Avi, let me just ask you, there's been a lot of fintech growth out of Africa over the past year, with companies such as Branch and Tala and Celent and many others making the headlines. What are your thoughts on the fintech market in Africa? And is Africa still a untapped market? And will we be seeing more news out of the continent in the near future in regards to payments and fintech?
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I'm just getting started, so with good comments. But about Africa, I think it's interesting because I think the Stripe acquisition is like the jump start to basically the consolidation of the fragmented landscape that we see today in Africa, with many payment types across different geographies, without seeing a good reason for that, I want to say, because there is a very high growth of e-commerce, and the fact that they are building their economy on a digitally digitally native way. It will provide a lot of opportunities for startups and enterprises to go there. One thing that I would mention is that I think it's still an untapped market in the sense that the unit economics are not figured out yet. How do you acquire customers? What is the LTV of that customer?
Sure.
And I think it makes sense for companies like Stripe to invest the time and invest the resources, both to learn the market, but also to educate the market. And I'm not sure this is a play that you can do as an early stage company. If there are founders that are thinking about addressing Africa, I will think very carefully about my target market and how can I reach them. Maybe if I can add here is that what's interesting now with that I'm seeing with COVID, and again, just want to mention that these are my opinions and are not reflective of Citi as an institution, the way that they see the economy or the market, is that COVID is flattening I want to say not only the globe, but our community, in the fact that there is a growth of e-commerce. You can see large retail and online companies expanding very rapidly. Think about Amazon expansion to new territories, Netflix. This creates the benchmark and the standardization of the experience that most of us in the Western world are familiar with. And when the person is very familiar with shopping in Amazon and buying things online, this creates the standardization that will help so many companies in expanding globally. And I think COVID only helps in that.
Excellent. Thank you for that. That makes a lot of sense. Now, going on to the next subject. So in last week's episode, we discussed crypto and blockchain. And I know, Avi, you know a lot about this subject. So we discussed crypto and blockchain and how Visa is working with Turnio to give holders of their Visa block card a more immediate way to spend their cryptocurrency as traditional currency. So to continue on with the theme and to continue on with crypto and blockchain news, PayPal actually announced that they too joined the cryptocurrency market by allowing customers to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin and other virtual coins using the company's online wallets. Additionally, PayPal stated that their customers will also be able to use cryptocurrencies to shop at the 26 million merchants on its network starting in early 2021, which is amazing to me. So, Avi, help me understand what's going on with the financial services giants who are not only acknowledging crypto and blockchain, or giving it a kosher stamp, if you may, but rather embracing it and inviting it into the very core of their businesses.
Yeah. So I think that most of the financial organizations today are experimenting and trying to understand what is the best way to utilize blockchain and also what is the best integration that we can do with cryptocurrencies. Of course, there's a lot of challenges that we see today where in terms of AML and fraud. And this is something that I think most of the financial organizations are a bit hesitant and are only testing the water and want to get more regulatory clarity. Mm-hmm. I think PayPal is doing a great move, and we can see that in the Bitcoin price, which just crossed 13,000 and have a good momentum. And I believe that we will hear the word Bitcoin this next year a lot more than we heard in the past 2 years. That's something that might even be similar to 2017 craziness of every second word that we heard is that crypto and blockchain. So hopefully not, but I think we have a very good fundamentals today. There are no question today that there is a big audience for crypto and blockchain and what it stands for is in terms of independency in controlling your money. And I think what PayPal is offering here, they are not the first player that can offering that. But their scale and their reach into products that consumer can actually buy, which this is something that we're still missing in the crypto or blockchain space, is that finding the killer app, finding the usage, not being only the store of value, but actually creating transactions and creating transparency and being able to control our own money. And I think I'm very excited about seeing how this will work. So we'll see.
So it seems like PayPal has taken crypto and blockchain almost mainstream, and I wonder what has changed in the industry to really make these to make these big financial institutions take it almost mainstream? Like, really, what has changed? And also, I do have an odd question, but do you think that crypto and blockchain, or digital currency, if you may, has a chance of becoming the new currency of the future? And I know this is sounding ultra futuristic or whatever it is, but is there any thought of that? Does it have a
Yeah,
chance?
definitely. Everyone who researched about blockchain and
Right.
cryptocurrency in the end reached the dark areas of the internet, where you have
Welcome to the dark side.
libertarians dreaming
Yeah.
about their ultra-free state with currency that no one is controlling.
Right.
So you can go around that.
Yeah.
I think that I'm not sure that in the future you will have only one currency, but you will have different currencies. I think today, with the challenges that we have, and I want to say the distrust that a lot of people today with the pandemic have with their governments,
Sure.
and the social and the economical impact that we will see, and I'm not sure that we have seen it all today. I think it will drive people to think differently about what are your assets are. What will happen once you will see inflation of 5 and 10%? These are things that my generation, the generation today that trades on eToro, that is digitally native, that have seen that have seen a constant growth in their assets, will grasp the understanding that each year 10% of his money is going away, and then you will see Bitcoin. You will see other blockchain base that are not dependent by the amount of cash that the government is typing in. And I believe that this will be a critical function in the way that future economy is going to be built. This is going to be, you will always want to pay in the currency that you're getting paid in, but you will have different types of assets that are protected from different types of scenarios. So definitely I will see a place for blockchain in the future.
So it sounds like it's here to stay. On to the last topic. So last week we also spoke about neo and challenger banks. And again, writing on last week's news that Pennyworth, a new UK-based challenger bank, was founded by 2X Barclays execs. Here we go. We have some more news on the specific subject, and again, out of the UK. So UK challenger bank Lannister raised £15 million from the CEO's family. Interesting, right? From the CEO's family at £150 million valuation pre-money. And out of Mexico, Santander's Muro Capital participated in the $15 million round for Mexican challenger bank Klar. So Avi, talk to me. Tell me what's going on in the growing world of neo and challenger banks. And is this just a trend, or is it here to stay?
I think in addition to what we've seen this week, last month we've seen the annual reports of most the challenger banks. So it was very insightful to see their growth. Since 2018, they have tripled the number of customers. So they are definitely growing popularity and the products that they're offering. And if you think about it, they are offering a software layer on top of the financial services, creating a lot more impactful, because in the end, I need the service, and the financial services only the underlying infrastructure. It should be seamless.
Right. So that's my question. So, in your opinion, your professional opinion, again, yours, not Citi, right? What's your opinion on the sudden rise in the popularity of these banks? Why is everybody opening up a challenger bank? I mean, there's even talk about Lyft becoming a neobank or a challenger bank. I mean, what's going on? Why this rise? Why is sudden popularity?
So I think the definition of bank today is set by the regulators, because you need to have a license. But if you think about it more broadly, every company today is becoming a fintech company and are incorporating financial services. And you can see the rise of platforms that are providing banking as a service. You want to provide loans, you want to provide cash up front, you want to provide any kind of financial service that is highly integrated to your product. So it's not only about neobanks that are providing a better customer experience sometimes, but it's more about the shift of financing to be very integrated into the business offering. I think one of the challenges in this industry is that the popularity is not converted very well to profitability today, and this is something that we'll need to solve, because the general thesis of a bank is that you have a high cost of acquiring customer, and then you need to provide a broad set of services in order to justify the customer cost. And traditional banks have that, from loans to checkings, to your mortgage, and we are trying. We have very good knowledge of a customer, and we try to be, as Citi says, to be the best for a customer and help them in every intersection of their life. In Challenge and Bank, they still need to prove their ability to provide more services. So hopefully we'll see that happening, but this has not happened yet.
Well, very enlightening, Avi. Thanks so much for those words. And again, Avi, thank you for being here with us today. And again, guys, that's 15 minutes. That's a wrap on the weekly wrap by Tech for Fin. Make sure to join us here next week, same time, same host, new guest. And everybody stay safe and enjoy your weekend. Be well, Avi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jeff. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.